Then one day, Mike read in a newspaper that the town of Popperville was going to build a new town hall. We are going to dig the cellar of that town hall. And off they started. They left the canals and the railroads and the highways and the airports and the big cities where no one wanted them anymore, and went away out in the country. They crawled along slowly, up the hills and down the hills, till they came to the little town of Popperville. When they got there, they found that the selectmen were just deciding who should dig the cellar for the new town hall. Mike Mulligan spoke to Henry B. Swap, one of the selectmen. I heard that you're going to build a new town hall. Mary Ann and I will dig the cellar for you in just one day. What? Dig a cellar in a day? It would take 100 men at least a week to dig the cellar for our new town hall. Sure. But Mary Ann can dig as much in a day as 100 men can dig in a week. Though he had never been quite sure that this was true. If we can't do it, you won't have to pay. Henry B. Swap thought that this would be an easy way to get part of the cellar dug for nothing. So he smiled in rather a mean way and gave the job of digging the cellar of the new town hall to Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. They started in early the next morning just as the sun was coming up. Soon a little boy came along.
Do you think you'll finish by sundown?
Sure. If you stay and watch us.
Okay.
We always work faster and better when someone is watching us. So the little boy stayed to watch. Then Mrs. McGillicuddy, Henry B. Swap, and the town constable came over to see what was happening, and they stayed to watch. Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dug a little faster and a little better. This gave the little boy a good idea. He ran off and told the postman with the morning mail, the telegraph boy on his bicycle, the milkman with his cart and horse, the doctor on his way home, and the farmer and his family coming into town for the day. And they all stopped and stayed to watch. That made Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dig a little faster and a little better.
If they say it's impossible, tell them it just takes longer. 'Cause no one but you knows what you can do, and believing it makes you stronger. A cellar in a day, a cellar in a day. Even if it can't be done, do it anyway.
They finished the first corner neat and square, but the sun was getting higher. The fire department arrived. They had seen the smoke and thought there was a fire.
Why don't you stay to watch?
It always helps when there's someone else standing there beside you.
If you forget your way, it'll be okay. 'Cause you got a friend to remind you.
You can dig a cellar in a day, a cellar in a day. Even if it can't be done, do it anyway.
So the fire department of Popperville stayed to watch Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. When they heard the fire engine, the children in the school across the street couldn't keep their eyes on their lessons. The teacher called a long recess, and the whole school came out to watch. They finished the second corner neat and square. But the sun was right up in the top of the sky.
If things get tough and you've had enough, and you just feel like crying, don't give in and you'll always win, 'cause there's nothing to lose by trying. You can dig a
Now, the girl who answers the telephone called up the next towns of Bangerville and Bopperville and Kipperville and Copperville and told them what was happening in Popperville. All the people came over to see if Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel could dig the cellar in just one day. But they would have to hurry. They were only halfway through and the sun was beginning to go down.
When you're out of time and way behind and the sun is disappearing, keep digging away and you'll make it someday and the whole world will be there cheering.
You can dig a cellar in a day, a cellar in a day. So when you're scared, don't try to run. Do your best and have some fun. So even if it can't be done, do it anyway.
They finished the third corner, neat and square.
Do it anyway.
Never had Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann had so many people to watch them.
Do it anyway.
Never had they dug so fast and so well.
Do it anyway.
And never had the sun seemed to go down so fast.
Do it anyway.
Hurry, Mike Mulligan, hurry. There's not much more time.
Dirt was flying everywhere, and the smoke and steam were so thick that the people could hardly see anything. But listen, bing, bang, crash, slam, louder and louder, faster and faster. Then suddenly it was quiet.
Where is it?
Slowly the dirt settled down, the smoke and steam cleared away. And there was the cellar, all finished. 4 corners, neat and square. 4 walls, straight down. And Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann at the bottom. And the sun was just going down behind the hill.
Hooray for Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel. We dug the cellar in just one day. How are they going to get out?
That's right. How is he going to get his steam shovel out?
Henry B. Swap didn't answer, but he smiled in a rather mean way. How are they going to get out? Hi, Mike Mulligan. How are you going to get your steam shovel out? Mike Mulligan looked around at the 4 square walls and 4 square corners, and he said, "We've dug so fast and we've dug so well that we've quite forgotten to leave a way out." Nothing like this had ever happened to Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann before, and they didn't know what to do. Nothing like this had ever happened before in Popperville. Everybody started talking at once, and everybody had a different idea, and everybody thought that his idea was the best. They talked and they talked and they argued and they fought till they were worn out, and still no one knew how to get Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann out of the cellar they had dug. The job isn't finished because Mary Ann isn't out of the cellar, so Mike Mulligan won't get paid. And he smiled again in a rather mean way. Now the little boy, who had been keeping very quiet, had another good idea.
Why couldn't we leave Mary Ann in the cellar and build a new town hall above her? Let her be the furnace for the new town hall, and let Mike Mulligan be the janitor. Then you wouldn't have to buy a new furnace, and we could pay Mike Mulligan for digging the cellar in just one day. Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Said Henry B. Swap, and smiled in a way that was not quite so mean. So they found a ladder and climbed down into the cellar to ask Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. Why not? So it was decided, and everybody was happy. They built the new town hall right over Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. It was finished before winter. Every day, the little boy goes over to see Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann, and Mrs. McGillicuddy takes some nice hot apple pies. As for Henry B. Swamp, he spends most of his time in the cellar of the new town hall listening to the stories that Mike Mulligan has to tell and smiling in a way that isn't mean at all. Now when you go to Popperville, be sure to go down in the cellar of the new town hall.
Hi,
There
Mike.
they'll be, Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. Mike in his rocking chair smoking his pipe, and Mary Ann beside him, warming up the meetings in the new town hall.
Someone wants us. Someone needs us.
In their eyes, do you see that part of you? Do you know how much they want you near to learn all the things it is you do as you take their hands and guide them down their winding path? Teach them to live, love, and laugh.
Before we begin the Storytime Tales on this video, we would like you to meet some of the other wonderful characters you'll find on other Golden Book videos. You'll enjoy the adventures of Scuffy the tugboat as he discovers what it is that toy tugboats are supposed to do. Then there's the Pokey little puppy and the patchwork blanket. Pokey learns how wonderful it is to have a loving, sharing family. We are sure you'll enjoy these and many other Storytime Tales from the Golden Book videos.